Do you think you know Cambridge, Massachusetts? In this video, I'm going to dispel 5 myths about Cambridge. My name is Charles Cherney, and I live in Cambridge and have for 20 plus years, and work as a real estate agent here serving buyers and sellers. And in this video, I'm going to dispel 5 myths about Cambridge. Number 5. Everyone in Cambridge is a liberal. This is a myth. Yes, for sure, Cambridge is a very liberal city, among the most liberal in the United States. In the 2016 presidential election, Clinton racked up 46,000 plus votes to Trump, who racked up just 3K or so. So, the majority is liberal, but it's not that everyone here is on the far left and extreme in their views. It's just not so. In my travels as an agent, meeting with people in the city, across the city, day in, day out, I'm meeting people who come from different backgrounds and have different points of view. And not everyone is a bleeding heart liberal on the far left, wearing Birkenstocks and attending every protest in town. It's just not true. There is that element here, and it's overdone to say it's everyone. It's not. Number 4 on the myths of Cambridge, Massachusetts, is that it's impossibly difficult to park a car. Now, look, this is true in the heart of Harvard Square in normal times, during the middle of the day, or when there's a weekend event at Harvard happening. Sure, it's hard to park in Harvard Square at these times. However, generally speaking, it's not that difficult to find a parking space in Cambridge. My wife and I have cars, and we live outside of Inman Square at a home without a driveway. So we park on street every day, all the time. And we have, over the last 20 plus years, found it, for the most part, not too difficult to park near home. Okay, for sure, if we've had a major snowstorm, it's challenging, right? If there's a special event nearby, then we may have difficulty. There's certain times of the week where it's a little bit more challenging, like Sunday night. But overall, every day, all the time, we find parking on the street near our home. And when I come and go on my travels as a real estate agent to all parts of the city, I find that I can park pretty much at ease. Now, clearly, we have the luxury of the Cambridge resident sticker since we live here, and that allows us to park on the city streets marked parking by permit only. The good news for visitors is those restrictions are not in effect on Sunday. So if you're coming to Cambridge on a Sunday, you can park on any city street marked parking by permit only. Number 3 on my list of Cambridge myths is that Cambridge is all about Harvard and MIT. Now, granted, Harvard and MIT are found in Cambridge. They're world-renowned universities with large student populations, and many residents either work at the university or are in a household with someone who works at either one. So, there's no denying that Harvard and MIT play a large role in what makes Cambridge Cambridge. But there is more to Cambridge than the 2 universities. There's all sorts of people who live in Cambridge who are not connected to either. And there are parts of the city where, you almost forget that Harvard and MIT are in Cambridge because you're in a neighborhood where they don't have a presence or play a part in the day-to-day life of that neighborhood of Cambridge. So yes, Harvard and MIT are part of the city, but they're not all that Cambridge is. Number 2 on my list is that the squares of Cambridge, it's a myth, are square. They're not. So there are 5 squares in Cambridge: Porter Square, and then Harvard Square, Inman Square, Central Square, and Kendall Square. And the thing is that the squares essentially are intersections that then move out in 4 directions from a central intersection with no clear boundary of where they start and when they stop. So look at, say, for example, Central Square. The heart of it is the intersection of Prospect and Massachusetts Avenue, where the Red Line T station is found. At this stoplight, this is the heart of Central Square, right? And so, yet it's not a square, it's an intersection. And as you move out of this intersection in any direction, exactly when you leave Central Square, isn't clear. So it's a myth to think that the squares of Cambridge are defined places with noted boundary lines that you enter into. It's just they're amorphous and they're intersections. And then number one on my list of Cambridge, Massachusetts myths is that Cambridge is one place. In fact, it's not. There are 13 named neighborhoods that make up Cambridge. And in addition to that, there are the 5 squares that I just mentioned. So, look, I live outside of Inman Square in Wellington, Harrington, a wonderful neighborhood of Cambridge. My mother lives nearby in mid-Cambridge. My office is in Harvard Square. Brattle Street defines West Cambridge as a neighborhood. Cambridge Port is between Central Square and the Charles River. There's Riverside, there's the Inman Square neighborhood, there's East Cambridge. And these neighborhoods are all different. They all have defined sensibilities as places to call home and to live in. And that's one of the things that makes Cambridge great. It's not one place, right? It is many places that give it such a wonderful, diverse sensibility. So, look, the reason there are myths is that there is some truth to each myth, but we need to think about them and to be thoughtful about the reality of the situation. So I hope you found this review of the myths of Cambridge helpful. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more information on the city of Cambridge and neighboring Somerville, and to click the bell to be notified when I put out a new video, which I do each week on this channel about Cambridge and Somerville. My name is Charles Cherney. As a top realtor, I look forward to connecting with people who are either looking to buy and move to Cambridge or Somerville, or are seeking assistance with selling. As a top agent over 20 plus years, that's been my pleasure here, working with people who are in Cambridge and Somerville. So text, telephone, or email if I can be of service to you as you give thought to moving in or out of Cambridge or Somerville. Take care.